Well, hey, y'all, and welcome on back to Creators Spicy Tea. And today's video is dedicated to someone. Well, a lot of people. It goes out to every neurospicy creator out there trying to juggle content creation, juggle mental health, time management, and, not fully combust in the middle of it all. If you have ever lost a whole day to hyperfixation, or you just couldn't get out of bed because your energy just tanked, you're the one I'm making this for, honey. Hi, y'all. My name is Allie Rowe. I am ADHD and I am bipolar as fuck. And I have somehow, through sheer stubbornness and strategy, I have built a successful content business and an entire creator education network, all while managing all of that bipolar and ADHD nonsense. And I figured today we could sit down and we can walk through exactly how I did it and see if maybe some of it can help you. I'm talking no sugarcoating, no toxic positivity. These are just real strategies that help me survive and succeed as a neurodivergent adult creator. And I wish to the mother truck I could sit here and tell you how easy it was. And it was just this one little hack that made it all fall in place. Y'all, so sorry, can't do that. I can't even pretend to do that. It was hard work. It's self-discipline. It's endless procrastination, self-pep talks, and eventually finding a workflow that worked for me. And in this guide today, we're going to cover some methods that help me and some that might hopefully help you if you are also neurospicy like I am. I got many years of experience in adult content creation under my belt and far too many years studying psychology to try and pull back from the college years on to remember for this one. So, what do you say? We stop rambling and we start rambling, but actually dig into the meat and the potatoes. Yeah? Okay. Let's start with time management because let's be honest, time is a fake social construct when you're neurodivergent. And I mean that in the most chaotic ADHD, holy heck, how is it 5 a.m. and I'm still in research mode 7 hours after starting kind of way? Does that sound a little specific? Yeah, maybe. Is that because that's exactly what happened when I was writing this resource? Yes, literally last night. Yes, it is. Here's to my no-sleep girlies and guys and non-binary babes. All right, one of the first things that changed the game for me was understanding how my brain naturally flows through the day. So if you experience bursts of hyperfocus or creativity, don't fight them. Use them. I batch created 6 resources, full resources, over 30,000 words in a single night last night. Why? Because my brain was literally on fire. It was on literal fire, but that's not something I can do every day. And I don't need to. I let my content roll out over time using scheduling tools, which keeps my business running, even on those days where the bipolar says, no, just no. You know what I mean? Instead of forcing yourself to create every single day, which is too much, instead, batch produce content on the days when your energy and your focus are through the roof, and conversely, on those low focus, low energy days, allow yourself to handle the simpler, smaller tasks or take a damn break. All right, so let's talk about building around your strengths. That means figuring out when you have the most mental energy. Are you a first thing in the morning person? Are you immediately after a workout kind of person? Late at night? Structure your day to get your most important and hard tasks done during those windows. Personally, I know about myself that if I do not start working and going and moving the second I wake up, it's not happening. at all. Period. That's just real. So I stopped trying to be someone else with slow, lazy mornings, and instead I built my workflow around that reality. So in the morning when I wake up, I'm going. Am I going to stay going all day? I don't know, but I'm going. What I also learned is that neurodivergent people need to mother trucking stop trying to copy neurotypical productivity advice. That stuff works great for that portion of the general population. It usually does not hit for us. So instead of forcing routines that aren't aligned with how our brains actually function, we have to build custom workflows just for us. I personally realized I needed a full-on framework that included something that I wasn't giving myself. I needed my framework to include grace and not just discipline. Make sure you're giving yourself grace too. Let's expand on time blocking. I'm not just throwing the word work on the calendar and calling it a day and going off that, right? No. I break it down into filming, scripting, editing, uploading, and marketing, and scheduling, and all that. There are times I don't even put these tasks on a time constraint, but I block them into the amount of time I'm going to spend on them. So, for example, instead of saying at 2 p.m. I'm going to do this, I'll say for 2 hours I'm going to be doing this, and then I'm switching tasks. That's what works best for me. When I am scheduling out my time blocks, I will even schedule in my breaks, my meals, my transitions between tasks, things like that. Y'all, give yourself the permission to schedule 15 minutes of zone out time, okay? Or, for me, more often than not, it's just giving me time for my brain to switch focus. Just doing that has prevented countless crashes. Also, I time block by energy. Creative tasks get my morning slots when I'm sharper. Fan interaction and client engagement goes mid-afternoon to early evening. That's when I'm more social. I've been awake for a while and I'm ready to chit-chat. And then admin tasks and doing things like creating resources for Neurospicy tea, they go at the very end of the day where all my low energy sits. I don't try to do everything all at once or when I'm drained, because I promise, if I try that, I will get this much done. The Pomodoro method also kind of saved my ass on days when the go juice was just not juicy. So that method includes setting a timer for X amount of time, let's say like 25 minutes, followed by a break set on a timer for X amount of time, say 5 minutes. So you work in a sprint and then you take a short break and then you do that again. This helped me dive into work knowing that my break is not far away. And that helped me reduce my procrastination anxiety. And you know what? Once I start, more often than not, if I can get going, I'll stay going. I just gotta get going. And that Pomodoro method really helped. To help me with planning out my days, I take everything that is spinning in my head, which is so much, and I get it on paper or on a doc or something. This is so crucial for us neurospicy folks. We have to get this shit out of our heads because they are just spinning around up there and we need to get them visually in front of us. That is going to save your booty. So I write down all of my tasks for the day. I write them all down, and then I break those tasks into smaller pieces. So for example, I have a custom video I need to film. Nope, that's actually script video, film video, edit video, upload video, cut trailer, etc. That way, when I'm still low energy, I can still do just one small step. Just film. Now just edit. Now just deliver. And I'll still feel like that's progress because it's not this one giant chunk. Okay, now let's talk systems, because as neurodivergent creators, we need to make sure we are not just relying on ourselves. We cannot. We need to use systems to help pick up where we fall down. I use systems like ClickUp, That is the central hub for CST to manage the content calendars, content concepts, notes, etc. But y'all, it doesn't need to be fancy. My notes app, y'all, this is what I was just talking about. I would die and my business would crumble around me if I did not have my notes app. I have to-do list templates, content creation, think planning templates, scratch pad templates, you name it. I have notes coming out of my ears and my booty. This keeps me on track and it keeps me sane. I'm also relying on physical systems to keep me on task and moving. I have alarms set on my tablet to remind me to take breaks, to go eat food, to remind me that, oh, nope, I need to be online at this point in time. This is a great sales time. I let each of these tools or these systems do their job so I don't have to. ClickUp holds the big picture. My phone reminds me to start. My notes keep me anchored. Those all are so important to me. So find the systems that work for you. Now, writing out and planning out your tasks, that's one thing. But doing that is not going to help all that much unless you're also prioritizing your tasks. So know it needs to happen immediately. So what on your list of tasks today will you have genuine consequences if you don't do them? That's priority A, right? And the final note I'll bring up about systems and utilizing systems as a neurospicy creator is a warning. Don't over-engineer your system and your planning of your system in pursuit of perfection. It's not real. It doesn't exist. A system that is simple and consistent that you are actually going to utilize is better than any elaborate, fancy, cutesy one that you're going to end up abandoning. So if a digital planner is overwhelming for you, ditch it. Stick with a notebook or even just your basic notes app, right? It can also really help to keep your work environment distraction free. So when I'm in focus blocks where I'm only working CST, I shut down notifications on Reddit and Telegram and I keep only the tabs on my browser open that I need. But if I need to focus on clients, I'm shutting down notifications surrounding CST to help me focus in on clients. I have a motto for myself that a organized space is equivalent to an organized mind. Now, is my studio organized? Fuck no. Hell no. No, it's nasty in here, y'all. It's a mess. But that's not the space that I need organized for my brain to be organized. I need my devices to be organized, and I need my notifications to be quiet and focused in on only what I need to be focused in on. So keeping my space organized to keep my brain organized looks different for me than it might for you. Keeping ourselves organized and on task is going to look different for every one of us because each one of us, we're rocking something different going on up here. And let's just get real. Some days, that motivation, she's not coming to class that day. And that's when I tap into accountability. I will post my goals in the Creator Resource Chats Discord server within the Buddy System channel, where we work together to keep each other accountable for each other's goals. If I don't do that, I'll reach out to my friends from the community and I'll say, I am doing X, Y, and Z today. Period. Just saying that to them, just saying that out loud, that gives that task more weight. At least for me, and for every other neurospicy person I've come across. The second you say you are going to accomplish this to another person, the likelihood of you actually finishing that task and accomplishing that goal is going to go whoosh, because you are going to have that external accountability affecting you. Even if they don't check in, I know for myself, if I tell someone I'm going to get something done, I'm getting it done. Because I don't want to have to then say, oh no, I didn't. No, I'm doing it. You bet your ass I'm busting my ass to make sure that gets done so I don't look like an ass, you know? Being an adult content creator means you are not just an artist. We are not just entertainers. We are effectively running small businesses built around us. This includes content production, marketing, fan interaction, finances, record keeping, bookkeeping, so much more. Neurodivergence, add that in, that just adds an extra layer to entrepreneurship. And you likely have unique strengths that give you an edge and certain executive function crashes that maybe don't give you an edge and need clever workarounds. The goal is to structure your business in a way that aligns with how you function best, while minimizing stress and reducing the likelihood of burnout. So here's how to manage the moving parts of your creator business as a neurospicy mother trucker. The first aspect of this is going to be finding a business structure that aligns with your strengths. The best damn part of being your own boss is that you can design your role exactly to fit your needs. So how do you do that, right? Start by identifying what you're good at. And not only that, but what you enjoy doing. And then do more of that. Everything else, find solutions for, find automations for, delegate it, outsource it if you can. So let's say writing lengthy captions or long private messages is hard because you struggle with dyslexia or attention issues. Think about solutions. Consider focusing on visual or audio engagement like a voice note or a video note. Or if you gotta stick with text, use talk to text. It's what I use, y'all. My brain goes way too fast for these thumbs. Are you kidding me? If you find that you can't communicate as easily as you want, find solutions. But let's say you find you're super charismatic and you can chat away with people for hours and hours. Lean more heavily into live content then. So let's look at another example. Let's say you are sitting on the autism spectrum. A lot of people on that spectrum feel significantly more comfortable with predictability and reliability. So if you're sitting there, consider creating consistent themed schedules. So like pick a day of the week, pick a theme for the day, and do it every week. Throwback Thursday, Cosplay Monday. I do Shibari Saturdays. This way you have a stable, reliable, predictable routine that helps you and your fans know what to expect, right? Let's flip that switch. Let's say you're on the other side, like me, and you got that ADHD and you get bored doing that same thing every damn day. Hi, it's me, right here. Build in variety and try new genres, try new content styles. Do what you gotta do to keep yourself stimulated. Leaning heavily into your strengths like that will help make this job not only simpler to just accomplish, but more rewarding. Speaking just a bit further on content creation, we should be creating templates and routines for ourselves that work to our strengths and not against us. So, for example, you might need rigid structure. So maybe one day you're scripting, and then day 2 you're filming, and then day 3 you're editing, and day 4 you're scheduling, and there's no deviation. For myself, that's too rigid. I'll say no day 1, go piss off, someone else do it, just out of spite. Instead, I have it set to where I have certain days a week that I do mass content creation, editing, and scheduling so long as my mood is in the right place for it. If it's not, I do something else. And that is something so important to speak on. Yes, these routines and these structures are going to help us, but listening to our brain and our body first and doing what this needs first is going to be what prevents us from riding that toilet bowl drain down to the burnout sewer. It can also really help to batch specific similar tasks together to help increase efficiency. So maybe something that helped me, because what I was doing was film, edit, schedule, film, edit, schedule. No, I switched that up. Now I'm film, edit, edit, schedule, schedule. Batch creation like that not only saves me time, it also is going to help when I'm in the middle of a workflow. I don't have to stop mid-workflow to do something else and then come back to it. No, I'm in my flow. It also helps reduce last-minute stress and decision fatigue. I don't wake up every day wondering, what should I post today? Y'all, I already got 2 months queued up, ready to go. Something I don't personally use, but I do know helps a lot of people, is going to be a content calendar. Now, this can be something as simple as a Google Calendar or as complex as a Notion board, where you list out your planned posts for each platform. So a content calendar can help you ensure that you don't forget important events like holidays or birthdays. And it can also help you if you have a team. It can help keep everyone in sync. And it can also help you make sure you're not repeating the same theme of content over and over and over again. Basically, it's going to take a lot of that guesswork and throw it out. It's going to get you a lot more scheduled and intentional. Another point is I don't create marketing content for every platform. Hell no, that's too much. I recycle, repurpose, and reformat. So here's what I personally do, and maybe it might be helpful for you. I create content for Reddit first because of its niche-specific posting. I mean, you have to make content that fits that exact niche, so you gotta be pretty specific on it. But then I reuse that same content on Blue Sky and other social platforms. It saves me time and lets me focus on the platforms that bring the most revenue, and let's chat on that as well. Focus in on the channels that are bringing you the best ROI or return on investment. So if you, let's look at an example, shall we? If you've been posting to Twitter for 2 years, and you've just reached 300 followers, but that same day you posted on Blue Sky for the 4th month in a row and you reached 500 followers, it might be time to let Twitter die out, which I did. It is so important to remember that as a neurospicy creator, our time and our energy are our limited resources, and we have to apply them where they have the most impact on our business. It is important that consistently we're looking back and we keep evaluating our workflows. And if something starts to feel consistently cumbersome, it's important to ask, is there a tool or a method or a system or an automation or something to simplify this? Last thing we're going to chat on is motivation and mindset. 2 tough ones. Believe me when I say these are my tough ones. Consistency is often cited as the key to success in adult content creation, but consistency can be a bitch when you have the ADHD motivation roller coaster, or autistic inertia, or you're in a bipolar low, or some other flavor of mental health crash, right? The trick is to create those external structures to help sustain consistency rather than relying on sheer willpower. We mentioned this before. We can't depend on our willpower. It's fleeting. It's weak. It's the weakest part of me. And look at this. There's no guns, and my willpower is weaker. But routines, schedules, and systems like the ones we spoke about before are going to really help with this through and through. And my biggest secret for all of this, which I think I briefly mentioned, every single time I accomplish a goal or a task for that day, I write that shit down. Every DM I respond to that's been waiting, every clip I upload, every outline I finish, I write it down. That way, at the end of the day, I can look back and be like, yeah, I did that. We don't realize how much we do in a day until we look back and you see it all written out in front of you. We are freaking badasses, y'all. Even on our lazy days, we do so much. And when your brain is lying, and telling you you're failing, you need data, you need proof. And that proof, for me, is that giant list of crap that I actually did do and did not fail at. And y'all, don't underestimate the power of rewards and gamification too, for motivation and consistency. Neurospicy brains thrive on dopamine. At least a lot of them thrive on dopamine. So set up a reward system for yourself if your brain is that way. If you finish editing that video that you've been dreading, then guess what? You get to play video games for an hour. Yeah. Or let's say you hit your subscriber growth goal. Go treat yourself to that thing you've been wanting. You earned it. Even really small rewards, like a snack or something like that, can help our brain associate doing tasks with pleasure rather than the default absolute dread and procrastination. You can also turn consistency into a game with things like habit tracking apps or things like that, with those kind of built-in rewards in the apps themselves. Okay, y'all. We just covered so much in this. We are sitting in live record time of 35 minutes. This was so juicy. If you made it this far, especially if you are in my neurospicy family, gold star right on the forehead. You did good. I just want to kind of start closing this by reminding everyone here that being neurodivergent is not some setback, or at least it does not have to be. It is a spicy, chaotic, and beautiful part of who you are. It has made you uniquely equipped to build something truly beautiful, deeply personal, and successful as hell. So, stop listening to it. Your brain's lying. Your brain is a lying sack of lies. Your brain is not broken. You're not disorganized. You're just differently organized. You need systems, not shame. You need structure and grace, not punishment. You need tools that work for you, not against you. Build a business that honors your rhythm. Rest when you need it. Ride the waves when it comes. Automate, delegate, batch create, and most of all, celebrate everything. Your neurodivergence is not something to fix. It is something to design around and with. You are not just capable and living with your neurodivergence. You are unstoppable with your neurodivergence. If this video resonated with you, throw a like on it or something if you want. If you know another creator who might benefit from hearing any of this, shoot it over to them. Thank y'all so incredibly much for sitting down with me today. This was a real one. We got real here. I really appreciated it, y'all. Once again, this is Allie, and we're sitting here with Creator Spicy Tea. And I hope you're safe. I hope you're sane. Well, sane. And I hope you're flourishing.